everybody. Welcome to the All-American Otaku show. This is our 50th episode, so we decided to do a retrospect episode. Look back what we have done for the past other episodes over the years. I'm glad you guys stuck around and watched our video and enjoyed it so much. For your treat, this is our old theme music. Thank you.
And a bear. Mr. Pat. The All-American Otaku Show.
Welcome back to the All-American Otaku show. We've came a long way from our first episode. We've learned a few things and learned new styles, and we learned to adapt over the years. Here's some of the clips of the very first episode. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the All-American Otaku show. I am Anna Bear, and this is the show. I'm a Navy vet from 1999 to 2004, an anime fan since 1993, and my first anime was Akira. And to give you a brief review of Akira it's a action anime, sci-fi, it has biker gangs, a dystopian future, and it's an excellent anime to watch if you want an oldie but goodie. Here's some highlights of the con. Now here is the episode that we did about food. We did we created a scenario where we cooked grilled corn, the first otaku kitchen, hopefully to be very many, and a future segment that will be every week. This is the highlights of that video. Hello everybody, welcome to the All-American Otaku show. This is a very special episode because we are starting the first segment called Otaku Kitchen. We are cooking from this cookbook. Hey, come on. This cookbook, and the recipe we're doing is called Yaki Tomarachichi, or grilled corn with soy sauce. This food item for Otaku Kitchen, is from the anime K-On!, Charlotte, Ramen One Half, and various other anime that features a festival. Street corn in Japan is used for celebrations and what have you. They take the corn, they put the sauce on it, they grill it on their certain grills they have outside for festivals and such. Sometimes they put a skewer through it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they put Japanese pepper on it, sometimes they don't. Ours won't have the Japanese pepper on it, unfortunately, because I couldn't find it at a local Asian market, Rancho Market. I highly suggest do not go there because the customer service was absolutely horrible. What decided me to join or create this segment was, most of the time, as an otaku, you have cosplay, you have your anime, you have gaming, but all otaku have to eat. And what better way to eat than eat like your anime character or something from an anime, which some animes look extremely yummy and food looks extremely exquisite. With this segment, from here and the future segments of Otaku Kitchen, we will explore the idea of cooking from an anime. We have put in here 2 tablespoons of mirin, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of sugar, and we're going to put this on the stove as such until the sugar is dissolved. So we'll put it on high, high. Seems like the sugar's already dissolved, so next thing you know,
I can't see you there.
Gonna cut off a tip and put it in the pot, and we whisk it.
I'm gonna turn it off for a minute. Turn it off.
Yeah. So now that it's whisked, you turn off the oven, you take it, and you place it. You fill the pot up to cover the corn in water. Like so. You take and you put it on high, and you cook it for 3 minutes.
Okay. Once it's boiled?
After you take the corn out of the water, the next step is to take a pair of tongs and put. Why is there a ban on here? You take the corn and you make sure it's nice and dry by batting it with a paper towel. You take the corn and you bat it with a paper towel to make sure it's nice and dry, and you place the corn on the grill like so. You continue the process for all 4 corn. And you let it cook for 5 minutes.
Products are designed and manufactured in America using only American raw materials. Most competitors live more than 7,000 miles away. And you wonder why they don't fit. With WinterTech in your vehicle, you may hear angels singing as you marvel, how do they do it? Same. American technology and American workers deliver quality. Not imported junk for a few bucks less. Get the gold standard in programs and support America.
Now that you have it grilled, you put it for another 2 minutes, and then you rotate again for another 2 minutes. Final, what it looks like after it's all done. Let's taste it. And I'm glad you enjoyed that clip. Here's a few further clip. Is before that, this episode, we really didn't have theme music for our opening. We were just to show certain logos and then go on with the show. We didn't know which direction we were going to go at first. We didn't know how many highlights and various other things of that type you were going to do. This is the highlight of our first theme music. In this episode, we did a response called Suspense. I hope you enjoy it. All-American Otaku Show. Today's episode is about suspense. Suspense can be many things, where tension is building, or something's really scary, or a jump scare, or just waiting for something new or great coming out. The suspense used in anime, there is Psychopaths, where it's an anime where they have guns such as the Dominator. And the Dominator is used to determine if you're good, bad, by how your mind works or how psychological stable you are. Some characters that could get past that, and you're wondering if this character is going to die or that character is going to die or what have you. Another anime that is known for its suspense is Tokyo Ghoul. How they're going to rescue Kaneki. How Kaneki's new state of mind are going to fit in. As well as City Hunter has some suspense. As well as Crying Freeman, about an assassin who was trained by the 108 Dragons, a Chinese mafia group, to go against the Yakuza. When he kills, he cries. That has suspense in it because is he going to get caught? How he's going to get away with it? And what about his girl? Suspense could mean Hellsing. Hellsing with the vampires and what have you. Or Hell's at the scene where you have the brothers trying to invade the Hellsing place, killing off various different soldiers, bringing them back, and Alucard using his magical abilities. Or who is Alucard and who's the person behind all this thing. Or the Nazi vampires still fit into the suspense category. There is also suspense in sports anime with Slam Dunk, or is he going to make the shot, or how he's going to do there, or in Blue Lock, if he's going to kick the goal, or who's going to get eliminated next. But not just anime and Japanese cinema have suspense, like Godzilla has suspense, how he's going to fight, how they're going to get away, how the alien invasions, samurai anime, how he's going to defend this castle, he's going to defend that. But the most recent anime with the suspense I like to use is Hell's Paradise. It's about These people who are convicted to die by the Japanese shogunate, but are given a chance to live happily ever after if they could find the potion of eternal life. They end up going onto this mysterious island that seems with flowers and all lovey-dovey, but people who come back, one person come back from it that survived had flowers growing out of them. You realize very quickly how dangerous this land is, with bugs that if they bite you, it spurts flowers and kills you that way. Giant monsters, and that's even only not even half of the problem.
Suspense. I'm covering the manga side, and I'm doing Promise Neverland because if you guys ever watched it yourself or read it, it's really suspenseful. So let's cover the characters right now. There's three main characters. There's a lot more to it, but I've only read it up to the first arc, which is probably about 15-20 chapters, just give or take. The heroine of the group is Emma. She's basic tomboy and has mostly a positive attitude of everything. Next one we have is Norman, which is actually the mainstay of an essential leader of the group.
Thank you for watching the highlights so far. This is from our very most popular episode we did about the Asterisk War. This one is we did a review, or I did a review on the anime called Asterisk War, about the aspect and the competition and the idea of the magical school. This video became extremely popular for us with 120 views. The I hope you enjoy it. All-American Otaku Show. Today we're going to review the classic anime known as Asterisk War. This anime starts off with this one guy who's new to this school, where it's all about dueling with weapons, as well as dueling with several magical abilities, or even dealing with dolls or mannequins or mechas or various other things of that such. This anime's main character is looking for his long-lost sister, who has sealed away his power for some reason. And then the first person he meets on his quest and joining the school to do that is this princess who has the ability to shoot fire and is usually cold to everybody. Ironically enough, fire user, cold to a lot of people. This leads them to duel at first, where the duel was called off by the class president. And eventually you meet another classmate who's been sleeping in and finally gets to the school, who has abilities to use these various different guns or gun triggers that are come from her dad. Her whole goal is to build up her dad's name, as well as build up a good reputation. She gets very upset when people talk bad about her dad. She's sort of seems like kind of a no-motion character, but every so often will show great emotion. Another character is a sword wielder. I can't remember her name right off the bat. She uses a regular katana, and she's so fast and has all these techniques, which makes her a pain to deal with. When she fought the main character in a duel at first, the main character lost. Eventually, there's this huge contest called the Phoenix Esta, where all the main characters as various other schools compete to become a top in their field, as well as be able to get her wish. During this time, one of the princess's maids, who's only 10 years old, who dress up with cat ears and a maid outfit, gets kidnapped. So the main character, the other two that we mentioned with the sword wielder and the gun user, decide to ferry off of the tournament to find the person who kidnapped this person, while the main character and the princess are still trying to fight in their contest. This leads to very climactic areas where each point of view is seen. This anime ends up after that, season 2, it starts to lead to somewhere called a group testa, where they're first encountered a guy using summon mythological creatures like chimeras, or dragons, or hydras, or minotaurs, things of that nature. As soon as they ended up defeating him, we don't know who was the one who's hiring him to not being in the group festa, and it leads up they're going to join the group festa, get ready for it, and then the series ends. The series ended in 2016, so the chances of a third season are not the greatest, but doesn't mean there won't be. As the series stands now, I would give it a 4 out of 5. But this is the episode that we did for a live action show, Japanese culture. This is what we did for Godzilla Minus One, as well as the idea that we're not just an anime show. I'm talking about anime as well, or video games or anime movies. We also talk about live action that has to do with Japanese culture and otaku culture. Here's the highlights of the live action that we've done. All-American Otaku Show. Today's show is a review of the movie Godzilla Minus One. This is not an anime movie like we normally talk on the show, or an anime genre, or an anime type. This follows into the idea of kaiju. A Japanese giant monsters, giant human beings, and various things like that. In some movies they call them titans. Godzilla Minus One was created by the same people who did the original Godzilla movies, Toho. Godzilla Minus One takes place in the ends of World War II between the Japanese and the Allied forces. The story centers around a kamikaze pilot towards the end of the war who did not want to die by kamikaze. He lands on this island to get his plane fixed and refueled. The kamikaze pilots usually go there for this purpose, but soon the mechanics realized there was nothing wrong with the plane. It's fueled, is fine, its mechanics are fine. He stays on this island for a little while, and eventually at night, Godzilla shows up. Godzilla shows up, wreaks havoc on the island, so one of the mechanics in his panics told the kamikaze pilot, get on this 20-pound gun, because you're the only one who wouldn't know how to shoot it. He gets on the 20-pound gun, but gets so afraid to shoot it because he thought it might just make the creature mad and might not have any effect on him. This leads to a lot of the mechanics getting killed by Godzilla and eventually taken off the island and examined. One of the mechanics who survived gives the kamikaze pilot a envelope full of all the photographs of the mechanics that died and their family to know that his cowardice, what his cowardice did. This was a very emotional part of the movie because it reflects on what they thought of kamikaze pilots who didn't do their task of dying and blowing themselves up for the country of Japan. This kamikaze pilot eventually goes to not New York, but Tokyo, and his old neighbor says, it's your fault my family's dead. It's your fault my kids are dead. Because people like you who are too cowardly to fight, cowardly to die for your country, too cowardly to die, that leads to us all dying and facing all these bombings. She said, there's no way I will ever help you. On his grief and his ashamed about himself, he meets this lady who has a baby, says, I need your help. Could you bring him in? He eventually takes her into his house, takes the baby and takes care of it. The neighbor eventually comes around and helps him take care of the baby. Eventually, the lady ends up getting a job in downtown Tokyo. Well, the kamikaze pilot eventually gets a job at helping and disposing of unexploded mines. There he meets this wooden ship. He meets the captain, and a professor who comes very important later on. During this time, Godzilla shows up again, but this time more powerful and has the nuclear breath because during this time, America was testing nuclear bombs as well as other allies. Eventually, the nuclear test not killing Godzilla enhanced him, making him more bigger, giving the ability of nuclear. This is an episode that we've done a while back on our first movie review. The first anime movie review we did was Dragon Ball Superhero. This is back before Mr. Pat was just a manga expert. We watched this anime and we took our notes and we took our views of this anime and we give it a certain review. This is back before we even did a number review. This anime was very good at the time, I remember. So here's the we got a special treat for you today. We are doing a review of Dragon Ball Superhero. We're having two different viewpoints. One is my own, and the other is from our manga expert, Mr. Pat. First, I want to talk about the setting, the animation style. The animation was a smooth blend of computer animation with regular style animation. Both splendid there, didn't take you out of the world, and it still kept you in check. The story, though basic for a Dragon Ball story, it still was excellent. It was great to see him focusing on two different characters rather than the same old other characters like Vegeta or Goku. It was great to see different styles of villains, different styles of heroes, and it was great to see an old villain come back as the Red Raymond Army, as well as another one I cannot tell you. You'll have to go see it yourself. I'm also pleased to mention that the movie itself wasn't too long. Didn't feel like it was a drag. If I was going to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10, with only two negative sides because the story was still very basic for of that type of shonen genre, and they spent a little too much time showing Vegeta and Goku training on planet where Beers is. Other than that, excellent movie. Must go see, and I highly recommend it. Also, the movie that we took there, if you're going to go see it, see it at the Regal. Recliner seats. We have good deals on popcorn, though it's Pepsi product. Now here's Mr. Pat on his review of the same exact movie. Thank you.
I'm covering over the new anime movie, Super Dragon Ball. The cool thing about this is that you don't have to see any of the episodes because it covers a nice little snippet of about 5 to 6 minutes long that will fill in, so you never feel like you're going in totally blind. The other cool thing is that this anime has also done a newer style of animation. Now, it looks to be digital. I know many of you think when you're seeing digital that, oh no, it's not up to snuff with the style of normal Dragon Ball Z. But don't.
Now that we've seen the highlights, now we have to talk about different genres and different subjects of anime that we've done over the years. We're future things that we plan on doing. As other episodes of Otaku Kitchen, more anime reviews, hopefully more live action stuff. Hopefully more subject matter. There will be more subject matters There'll be more anime classic as well as modern to review. Plus, we plan on doing the Anime Awards review, first time we've ever done that for this show. Here's Mr. Pat on his retrospect.
Today we're not doing the traditional manga review. This time we're doing retrospect for our next season of reviews. I'm doing one basically about my trip through this whole ordeal. Mainly my video portions in manga review. I started out pretty rough as far as doing my videos at the beginning. I had basically I wrote down a script that was pretty detailed and very hard to break through. There were a lot of times I was nervous in doing this video portion. I'm still kind of am, but I've gotten a lot better on how to do these videos. There was, and you may even notice that I do this quite a bit still, but I'm always improving. Is I'll do It usually just means that I forget something and I'll do the video, try to recall all the little bits in my thinking process, so it comes across as that. I plan to make better eye contact with the camera, so it helps you guys look like I'm actually talking to you instead of just looking at constantly down. But again, the reason I picked a lot of these manga that I chose, about 90% of them are anime in general. So if it's hard to tell what I'm describing doesn't always work, you can always just go to strictly to an anime and find out more about it. I plan to do this more freeform. It really, I came across really kind of robotic in how I was giving talking points. Improvement. Yeah, definitely plan to cut down on my thinking moments, but it's not 100%, so you'll still notice me doing kind of moments. I plan to keep these videos a little bit decent amount of time, so it grabs your attention, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging out too long. And my final issue I plan to correct myself on is my pronunciation of words, especially Japanese words, and they always come across embarrassing pronunciation. I think that's all it, and this is Mr. Pat.
Welcome to the show where anime dreams come alive. Let's go! All-American Otaku vivified, diving deep into the anime tide. From the screen to the page, we're turning every stage. All-American Otaku, where worlds collide. From the 90s till now, the passion's been real. Anime and manga, it's how we feel. Condensed actions and scenes, cooking up dreams, Japanese culture bursting at the seams. All-American Otaku, feel the vibe, diving deep into the anime tide. From the screens to the page, we're turning every stage. All-American Otaku, where worlds collide. I'm there and Mr. Pat by my side, exploring every genre, let's take that ride. From action to drama, it's all here. Community strong, let's make it clear. Otaku dreams, we're chasing the light, exploring